Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron is here, everyone. Welcome back for more SPTV, where every day's a great day. Not to be in a cult. I just want to thank Lord Xenu in the Galactic Confederacy above for giving me the gift of U.S. Representative Jamie Raskin calling Scientology a cult and calling out Tom Cruise for accepting Scientology slave labor at the Democratic National Convention. And I want to thank the viewer that sent me this clip last night. I actually posted this. It's a 26-second clip of U.S. Rep Jamie Raskin. I mean, before I get into this, I should say, I told you guys that I would give equal treatment to anyone on both sides of the political aisle, that I'm not playing favorites on anyone. A week or two ago, I played a clip of Tucker Carlson, unprompted, in an interview, calling Scientology a cult and talking about Scientology like brainwashing and sect checking. And now we have someone on the other side of the aisle. I said, anyone who calls Scientology a cult in U.S. politics, or I mean, world politics for that matter, or popular culture, I'm going to bring it to you. And I mean, there's nothing bigger happening in the world of politics right now than the Democratic National Convention. One of the biggest political channels on YouTube on the left is the Young Turks, and they were doing a little panel discussion with U.S. Rep Jamie Raskin, and completely unprompted. They were not talking about Scientology. Completely unprompted, Jamie Raskin calls Scientology a cult and talks about Scientologists having to scrub Tom Cruise's yacht with a toothbrush. Thank you, Lord Xenu. I'm going to show you the clip. And this is why, oh my God, I was like, this is so perfect. Because guys, we are in the middle of a campaign from now until election day, which I think is November 4th, of trying to contact all candidates for the U.S. House of Representatives and asking them officially in writing, trying to get a reply from them, from the candidate's campaign, whether they would support holding hearings into Scientology's tax-exempt status. This is absolutely amazing. After the clip that I'm about to show you right now, it would also be amazing if any of you out there who are constituents of Representative Jamie Raskin, you live in his congressional district, contact him and ask him if he would support holding hearings into Scientology's tax-exempt status. I'm going to share with you a little bit more about that campaign in a moment, but without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the amazing clip. Let's watch.
Yeah, but that's true of every religious cult. I mean, the people who are in the Church of Scientology, when they're cleaning Tom Cruise's yacht with a toothbrush or whatever they got to do for punishment, they're cursing David Miscavige, the head of the whole thing, but they're terrified of him. And, it's time for Americans to stop being afraid of the bullies who are really cowards. And that's what this is all about.
Oh my God, I couldn't even believe it. I have watched this clip like 20 times. I uploaded that clip. It's just a 26-second clip. I actually uploaded it as a video to my channel last night at like 1:30 in the morning, and I put it as a video on Twitter. Now look, they weren't talking about Scientology. We know who those guys like politically and who those guys don't like politically. Makes no difference to me whatsoever. But I'll tell you, I was shocked to look at that clip and go, that clip showed a depth of understanding about certain of the abuses elements of Scientology that I couldn't believe. I mean, I almost want to watch it again. Do you guys mind? I actually want to watch this again.
Yeah, but that's true of every religious cult. I mean, the people who are in the Church of Scientology, when they're cleaning Tom Cruise's yacht with a toothbrush or whatever they got to do for punishment, they're cursing David Miscavige, the head of the whole thing, but they're terrified of him. And, it's time for Americans to stop being afraid of the bullies who are really cowards. And that's what this is all about.
Wow. Okay. So that shows to me, first of all, how rare is it for someone to properly pronounce the last name Miscavige? They always say Miscavige. They always say Miscavige. This guy's watched enough Scientology content to know it's Miscavige. He's watched enough Scientology content to know that Sea Org members are penalized by being forced to scrub dumpsters with toothbrushes. Now, it's just hilarious that he swapped out dumpsters with Tom Cruise's yacht. He also has watched enough Scientology content to know that Tom Cruise has been the beneficiary of Scientology slave labor. One of the most famous and wealthiest people in the world has his best buddy, David Miscavige, who's the leader of the Scientology cult, gives gifts and favors and presents to Tom Cruise in the form of free Scientology Sea Org slave labor. Oh, Tom, you got an airplane hangar that needs refitted and decked out? No worries. We'll have Sea Org members do it for you. You need someone to oversee the hiring of your household staff? No worries. We'll have Sea Org members do it for you. You need your motorcycle pimped out and have a custom paint job? No worries. We'll have Sea Org members do it for you. Absolutely amazing. And not only has he watched enough Scientology content to know these things, but he knows enough about the true condition and state of Scientology that he doesn't have to be afraid to say something like that in public. I mean, on a huge platform, on a political platform, a political show covering the biggest political event that's occurring right now. This is mind-blowing. And as I was sort of ruminating on this for a while, I thought, guys, this whole campaign that we have right now of contacting candidates for the House of Representatives, the lower house of Congress, and asking them their position on this, what if we actually, in the requests, sent them a link to Representative Raskin saying this as an example of just someone in Congress who's not afraid to call Scientology out. A representative, a U.S. rep, or a candidate for a candidate, someone running for to be in the House of Representatives, may not know enough about Scientology to know that you shouldn't be afraid of them. This reputation, this incredibly litigious and hostile and aggressive and dangerous reputation that they very rightfully earned, during the 50s through the 90s, they can't quite get away with those kind of shenanigans anymore. Yes, there's stuff they can do. Yes, they can always do stuff behind the scenes. They will always try to do stuff. But to be afraid of them today, the same way it was justified to be afraid of them in the 80s and 90s, it's not really justified. And many of these candidates may not truly understand that. And perhaps seeing an example of one of the more well-known members of Congress demonstrating that lack of fear, maybe that will give them a little bit of backbone as well. Okay, so let me reorient everyone to the campaign that I'm talking about. Oh, guys, I forgot to pull up the websites for Z News and Fluffer Squirrel UK. I forgot to pull up the YouTube channels. But Z News and Fluffer Squirrel UK are the brains and the brawn behind the website, sptv.space. And on the resources tab right here, if you go down to House Reps List, NatCat 180 has helped compile a full list of all candidates for the U.S. House of Representatives. It's got this amazing drop-down functionality here to select your state and your district. It will tell you who is running for your House rep seat. And they're doing their best to keep this list updated on people who've already dropped out of the race or getting rid of people who lost their primary and all this kind of stuff. Let's look at the, by the way, I love how they've updated the logo on this website to show the Capitol building. Okay, so revoke Scientology's tax exempt status. Find your district and choose which candidates to contact. Either blind copy or forward your letter and their response to housereps@sptv.space. Let's see how many candidates we can commit to having hearings on Scientology's tax exempt status. Let's just pull up an example letter here. Oh, I guess I got to share this tab. Write your U.S. congressional representative candidate asking if they will support hearings into Scientology's tax-exempt status. Find your U.S. House district. Only U.S. citizens living in the congressional district may participate in this exercise. Yes, indeed, you guys. Please use or customize the template below. Send the letter to any candidates in your district. Blind copy or send a copy to housereps@sptv.space and forward their responses as well. And this template was created by Skywriter 140. In the last video that I did on this subject, I said something like, I sort of have form letter PTSD, because in Scientology, they're constantly pushing letter writing campaigns, and Scientologists are constantly sending out form letters. And I said, please customize the letter. But I was contacted by someone who's very active in politics on the federal level and said, it's totally okay to use form letters. Do not shy away from using form letters. A campaign receiving a bunch of form letters doesn't actually dismiss them. They actually go, uh-oh, this looks like an organized grassroots effort. Form writing campaigns are common in the political space, and it is totally okay to do that. It will not minimize the effect of that letter. So I want to correct something I said earlier. And anyway, there's just a nice little sample form letter here. Do what you guys want with that. This is such an awesome, valuable, and fun thing that everyone who watches SPTV and lives in the United States can help us with for the next couple months or so. All right, you guys, just a short and sweet one. I have so many videos that I want to get done today and for the rest of this week and this weekend. So hang in there, guys. I hope it's not too much, but I got a lot to catch up on. Let me see. I've got the lovely Barb in the back office helping me star some comments. Kelly Copter, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Aaron, I loved your sec check video with Jenna. So insightful. Thank you both for making it. It was a lot more fun than I thought it would be, and it worked out better than I expected it to. So thank you for that, Kelly. I thought it would actually be fun to have like Clearwater George or Sandy McKenna come over and get on the cans and do some of the assessment lists of what's your favorite color. Like, I think, how the e-meter is actually used in Scientology auditing is something that's been discussed a lot, but it's hard to show it. But it is kind of interesting to see, and I'm considering trying to figure out how to do more content about it. Thank you for that. Poof, 911. I was just going to say that. I'm from Maryland, and when I saw this, I thought Aaron had written a skit and used AI. That's right. I mean, in a video I did last week, I think I mentioned, like, how funny would it be if, like, not just funny, to me it's funny, you guys know I find all this stuff funny. How funny, but also how impactful would it be if very high profile celebrities just started randomly and unprompted bringing up Scientology being a cult in conversations? And I said, could you imagine if Taylor Swift was like doing a podcast and somebody mentioned a cult and Taylor Swift was like, yeah, like Scientology. I mean, anyway, I could go on and on. I honestly couldn't believe it. I was like, is this real? This is too good. This is too perfect. Like I said, thank you, Lord Xenu and the Galactic Confederacy above. All right, let's see. What is this? Poof 911 also asks, I'm going to a new dentist next month. If they're using Scientology administration front groups, how will I know? If I ask, won't they lie? I would probably recommend not asking. If you see a Way to Happiness booklet on the countertop, that will be a clue. If you see any stat graphs hanging up on the wall behind the desk for some reason, that would be a clue. If you see any binders or booklets or course packs that say WISE or World Institute of Scientology Enterprises or based on the works of L. Ron Hubbard, that's definitely a dead giveaway. I should add that just because they are a client of one of these Scientology business consulting front groups does not mean they're a Scientologist. And I think that is important to keep in mind. And so I guess when I said probably not best to ask, like, I wouldn't recommend like boycotting some practice because they happen to have been roped into one of these Scientology business consulting front groups. In fact, it might be a great opportunity to try to warn them about it. But, to each their own. I'm not, if you're not comfortable going to a dentist who's paying a business consulting group that's paying royalties to Scientology. I mean, of course, that's your prerogative. But I would maybe tread lightly at first and just see what you can learn. But those are some things to look out for. Thank you so much. Robin742, just cruised to Aruba, parked next to the free winds. I have questions about what I saw. Do you have an email address? Maybe a future live topic. Robin, you can reach me at growingupinscientology@gmail.com. It is amazing. Every single week, somebody is sending me photos of the free winds because they are on a cruise and they pulled up to a dock, a port, and the free winds is next to it. Every single week, I am getting photos and video of the free winds. It's absolutely incredible. But happy to answer any questions you have about it. Thank you so much. Trisha Briggs, I'm so glad you covered this. I was shocked when you just blurted it out of nowhere. The truth is getting out there. Maybe we're close to something finally being done. Thank you, Trish. Fish Mom 2011. Do you think Tom Cruise's lawyer will go after him, or is it too close to the truth? I would say, well, it is too close to the truth, but I think that's not why Tom Cruise's lawyer would go after him. Free speech is protected, and someone would say it's just hyperbole. People scrubbing Tom Cruise's yacht with a toothbrush for punishment. I love how he specifically said for punishment. Unbelievable. Kylie says, Taylor's fans alone could end Scientology. Scientology's harassment cannot compare to the wrath of the Swifties. I think you are correct about that. And let's see, one more here. Well, actually, I don't have any response to that. So I guess that was the last one. All right, guys, just a short one. Much more to come. Hit that like button if you're still here. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Thank you for hanging out with me, everyone. Thank you to everyone who watches until the very end. And I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right